Thank you to those who sent this to my email, and I got this story about this beautiful baby here. I was able to find a lot of pictures of her. Such an angel, such a sweetheart. And how she met her demise is just in a way by this individual. Like, why does this happen? You wouldn't even believe it. But let's talk about this. If this is your first time here, I have to give you a disclaimer about my content. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. I'm getting this story from WDRB.com, so thank you for the article. Louisville, Kentucky, an Indiana woman is facing multiple felony charges after investigators said that she was physically, excuse me, let me get the picture back up here. My apologies. I want y'all to see this. Facing multiple felony charges after investigators said that she was physically abused her stepdaughter in a motel room last August, leading to her death. Why were they in a hotel room? Why do these incidents always end so violently, and so many of them always involve a hotel? Like, there were just a ton of stories, either that involved a bathroom, a toilet, a bathtub, or a hotel room. A lot of stories on my channel. Stepdaughter, so not the mother. Her name is Ashanti Octavia Jackson, who's 32 years old, from Indianapolis, is charged with aggravated battery, neglect of a dependent resulting in death, neglect of a dependent resulting in bodily injury, and battery resulting in bodily injury to a person less than 14 years old. And that angel has just the most beautiful smile on her face. What would she do this for? Why was she left in charge of this child? Now, this investigation started August of last year when a detective from Clarksville, Indiana, responded to a Northern Children's Hospital in downtown Louisville after a 3-year-old was brought there from a suburban motel in Clarksville, according to a probable cause affidavit. That's off Broadway Street off Veterans Parkway. First responders were told the child was injured after falling from a bed while having a seizure. Dun, dun, dun. Another fall, and the child died all on their own, right? But if that was the case, then you have to wonder, then why was this stepmother arrested? Does that excuse sound familiar? They fell, they died. But check this out. Doctors who examined the child determined that her injuries were caused by non-accidental trauma and were life-threatening. Of course, we already knew that. Court records state that surgeons had to remove part of the child's skull due to the large amount of brain swelling. They were trying to save this baby's life. The child was not expected to survive, and she was taken off life support, which looks like it was 2 days later, less than 48 hours, after doctors determined there was no brain activity. Wednesday, the child's mother, by the name of Destiny Stewart, told WDRB that the little girl's name was Melanie Stewart, and I had her whole name here as Melanie Darnay Stewart. The mother said that the little girl was still learning how to talk, but didn't let anything stop her. I think her favorite thing to do was jump, Stewart said. She was a happy kid. She didn't know she was disabled. You couldn't tell her anything. Stewart said Melanie lived with her in Kokomo, Indiana, and was visiting her father and stepmother in Clarksville last August. Family members tell the news they trusted the couple to look after Melanie during an already hard time for Stewart. She was only with her dad because my son had actually drowned in Kokomo. Wow, man. She was only with her dad because my son had actually drowned in Kokomo. Destiny said Antoine Yarbrough was just 8 years old when he died in July of 2023. She takes a little solace knowing he was in heaven waiting for Melania. So let me see if I can show y'all that picture. That has got to be the most unfortunate occurrence ever. Your son died in July and your daughter died in August. That's the picture that I found. They photoshopped that and put that together. The month before, her son died, and then her daughter died for being beat up, from what we understand. The final autopsy was released on December the 12th, and it stated that the 3-year-old was assaulted and her death was ruled a homicide. So this baby was beat to death. The report said that she died from blunt impact injuries to her head in the setting of battered child syndrome. So she was beat up by this ugly looking woman right here. The coroner report also indicated that the child suffered a significant traumatic injury to her abdomen, punched her in the stomach. Kicked her in the stomach. You just don't know with these abusive ass people. Specifically, they found a tear in her mesentery, which is a membrane that attaches the intestine to the wall around the stomach area. God, dog. It is believed that the injury occurred up to 2 weeks before the child was hospitalized and most likely caused her to endure pain and suffering. Police said that evidence showed Ashanti tried to revive the child before calling 911 by doing what? Placing this child that is not her child in a cold bathtub. Hashtag not another bathtub story. Almost every time. With these murderers, why is it that they always think, oh yeah, let me go revive this child that I beat the shit out of and put them in a cold bathtub to revive them, and that's going to make everything better? Like it's like a cold bath that's like holy water or something. Like it's gonna wash all the murderous beating sins away or something. It is further extremely concerning that the stepmother reportedly obtained an ice pack and gave a bath to a completely limp and unresponsive child rather than immediately, like most normal people would do, by calling 911, according to the autopsy report. This delay in seeking care very likely contributed to the poor outcome and is diagnostic of medical neglect. Court documents indicate Ashanti Jackson plans to hire her own attorney. Not guilty pleas were entered on her behalf during a court hearing on March 18th, and the judge set her bail at $1 million full cash bond. Jackson's next court appearance is scheduled for April 1st, which just happened last week. I don't even know what to say about that. You just can't be that level of dumb. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. So just as a reminder, the first child died in July of last year, drowning to death. Then, the very next month, her daughter was beat to death by this stepmother and died the very next month. Like, just people's luck can't be that bad. But do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, and listen to these stories and let me know what you guys think, okay?
A woman accused of beating her 3-year-old stepdaughter to death is now in jail in Clark County. Ashanti Jackson is facing multiple counts, including aggravated battery and neglect of dependent, resulting in death. According to court documents, Jackson claimed that the child hit her head after having a seizure and falling off the bed at a Clarksville motel. The doctors at Norton Children's Hospital, where the girl died, said that that wouldn't cause the significant brain injuries that she had.
Year-old Melanie Stewart, and she died more than 6 months ago. Police say she died from a brain bleed, not from a fall, but from abuse.
WDRB's Conroy DeLuce talked with the young girl's mother tonight. She's relieved someone was finally arrested.
Come on, let's go, yay!
I think her favorite thing to do was jump.
This is Melanie Stewart, a child who at 3 years old was still learning how to walk.
But she was a happy kid. She didn't know she was disabled. You couldn't tell her anything.
Destiny Stewart says Melanie lived with her in Kokomo, Indiana, but was visiting her father and stepmother in Clarksville last August. According to an affidavit, on August 22nd, police write that while the father was at work, Ashanti Jackson called 911, telling first responders that Melanie had suffered a seizure and fell off the bed. But doctors say they found severe head trauma, swelling, bleeding in the brain. A coroner later ruled the child's injuries were from an assault. And last week, investigators charged her stepmother, Ashanti Jackson, relief for the grieving mother.
I didn't have to say anything. I don't have to put it out there. It's facts.
Family members tell us they trusted the couple to look after Melanie during an already hard time for Destiny.
She was only out there with her dad because my son had actually drowned here in Kokomo, not even 27 days before she passed.
Antoine Yarbrough was just 8 years old when he died, and Destiny takes a little solace knowing he was in heaven to wait for Melanie, a little girl who never got to go back home to see her teachers.
She enjoyed going to school, riding the school bus. She knew it was no problem getting her up and ready for school. She knew what time it was.
Months after the 3-year-old's death, Ashanti Jackson is now facing 4 felony counts, including aggravated battery and neglect of a dependent, resulting in death. Police also accuse Jackson of failing to timely get Melanie care, writing that instead of immediately calling 911, Jackson put the girl in an ice bath, a, quote, significant time delay in caring for her severe injury. With photojournalist Brian Manuel, Conroy DeLuce, WDRB News.
I just don't know how you can be that level of dumb. And it just seems like all of these murderous people putting these children in bathtubs, bathrooms, causing their death and beating them. Like, I don't even know how you could look at a baby like this and they do anything. I know that they can be fussy at times, but to sit there and punch a baby, like these type of injuries, I want y'all to understand that could probably kill an adult, let alone a child that's like a fourth of this woman's size, probably less than that. A lot smaller, and couldn't do anything to speak for herself nor defend herself. And what the hell was she going through? And why did they trust this woman to watch a kid is beyond me. And I think that proves that this is her character. This is who she is. And just why would anybody deal with her? Why would anybody want to date her, produce kids by her, just anything like that? But to this beautiful princess, Melanie, R.I.P., to the mother, to have children pass away in this fashion back to back, it's just got to be one of the most heartbreaking things you could ever even experience. So my thoughts and prayers are with the family. So I hope y'all hear that, okay? Leave a comment in the comment section. Share this story and let me know what you think. What do y'all think should happen to her? I think she should get a life sentence, but is she going to actually get that? We're going to have to find out. But thank you.